They fired her from her cooking job for telling the truth in court, so she did the most dangerous thing a black woman in 1955 could do. She turned her kitchen into a revolutionary headquarters. Her name was Georgia Gilmore. Most history books tell you about the speeches on the steps of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, but they rarely mention the woman who was funding the march for the cars that made the 381-day Montgomery bus boycott possible. In December 1955, right after Rosa Parks was arrested, Georgia Gilmore didn't just walk, she organized. She knew that a boycott isn't just a protest, it's a logistics war. People needed to get to work, and that required an alternative transportation system. That system required money. Georgia created the Club from Nowhere. According to the records of the Montgomery Improvement Association, this was a secret network of black women who spent their nights frying chicken, baking sweet potato pies, and whipping up pound cakes. They sold this food throughout the community, but the name was a strategic code. When white employers or the police asked where the massive influx of cash was coming from, the donors could honestly say, it came from nowhere. But Georgia wasn't just staying behind the stove. In 1956, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was put on trial for organizing the boycott, Georgia Gilmore was called to the stand. According to the Montgomery County Court transcripts, she gave a fearless, gut-wrenching testimony about the racial abuse she suffered at the hands of white bus drivers. She told the truth, and she paid for it immediately. She was fired from her job at the National Lunch Company. But here's where the story gets unfiltered. Dr. King didn't just offer her a thank you. He told her that her independence was her power. He encouraged her to open her own business. Georgia turned her home at 452 Cleveland Court into a command center. Over plates of her legendary stuffed pork chops, the greatest minds of the civil rights movement, MLK, Ralph Abernathy, Bayard Rustin, sat at her table and planned the downfall of Jim Crow. Her kitchen was the one place where they could speak freely without being bugged or harassed by the police. The Club from Nowhere eventually raised hundreds of dollars a week, thousands in today's currency, funding the insurance, the tires, and the fuel that kept the movement moving until the Supreme Court finally ruled that bus segregation was unconstitutional. Georgia Gilmore proved that courage isn't always a megaphone. Sometimes it's a stovetop. She proved that when the system tries to starve you, you should start feeding the revolution. Ironically, Georgia Gilmore passed away in 1990 while she was in the kitchen, cooking for the people who were in town to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the march from Selma to Montgomery. She died as she lived, nourishing the struggle. I want to hear from you in the comments. We talk a lot about Black-owned businesses in 2026, but are we using our economic power to fund our freedom the way Georgia Gilmore did? Or are we just feeding the same systems that are trying to fire us? Share this video. Every time someone eats a piece of fried chicken or a sweet potato pie, they need to know it was once a weapon used to win a war.